The signal came from a dead man. Sergeant Varden Hale was supposed to have died on Ferrion Secundus. His squad annihilated. The refinery overrun. And yet, he transmitted.
Tango Company, 3rd Platoon down. Refinery Ferrion compromised.
The message fractured into static, but the meaning remained. Something moved beneath the surface. Not chaos. Design. The Inquisition answered. Inquisitor Fackelman had come in person. The highway to Port Veratus lay silent beneath a dead sky. No traffic, no life. Only dust drifting across cracked asphalt and the skeletons of industry. Through that emptiness came iron. Torox 42 at the front, Torox 38 and 39 close behind. And at the center, a Leman Russ Vanquisher, modified. Its massive hull mounted on reinforced wheel assemblies instead of tracks. A deviation from doctrine. A spear driving forward. Engines roared, dust billowed. They did not slow. They had not come to save Ferrion. They had come to judge it. The ambush came at full speed. Not random, not desperate, timed. The jackals erupted from the dust and hit the moving convoy. Straight into Torox 42. Bikes slammed into the transport. Charges detonated against its hull. Submachine guns opened fire. Rounds sparked against the hull. The transport shuddered, but kept moving. Then, from within the dust, the Ridge Runner. Autocannons opened fire. Rounds hammered into Torox 42, sparks bursting from its hull. The mining laser fired. A single beam cut clean through dust and smoke and slammed into the transport. The impact hit it hard, but it held.
Get out! Get out!
The ramp dropped mid-motion. Tempestus Scions hit the ground running, rolling, rising, firing in one motion. They formed a perimeter instantly, not to hold ground, but to keep the convoy moving. The convoy pushed forward through the attack. Torox 42 accelerated, dragging attackers with it. Torox 38 and 39 fanned out, firing on the move. Storm bolters roared. Autocannons thundered. Atalan jackals died in motion. A melter gun fired on the remaining wolf quad. For a split second, it still moved. Then it collapsed into molten wreckage. A gap opened in the attack. The Leman Russ broke formation. Without slowing, it smashed through the roadside barrier. Steel twisted. Concrete shattered. The tank forced its way off the highway, gaining line of sight. Cannon aligned. One shot. The Vanquisher round tore across the battlefield and slammed into the Ridge Runner. The impact ripped armor apart and hurled it sideways. Burning, crippled, but not destroyed. It withdrew into cover. A single shot cracked through the chaos. The Jackal Alphas. A Scion fell instantly, shot clean through the visor. Something heavier moved. The Goliath rock grinder. Before it advanced, its cargo deployed. Acolytes spilled into the dust. Among them, the Primus. He stepped down last, unhurried, untouched by the chaos around him. Then the rock grinder surged forward, straight toward the Leman Russ. A distraction, a sacrifice. The collision shook the battlefield. The drill dozer tore through the tank, and the Leman Russ died in fire. For a heartbeat, everything stopped. Then the Imperium answered. Scions advanced through smoke and flame. Grenades arced through the haze, detonating against the rock grinder's hull in violent bursts. Shockwaves rippled across its armor. Plating cracked. Flames licked from ruptured seams. Still, it kept coming. One man stepped forward, a melter gun in his hands. He fired. Too close. The beam ripped the rock grinder apart. The explosion swallowed him with it. Flesh and armor vaporized instantly. Nothing left to bury. The battlefield fractured, and the trap tightened. Ahead, the Taurox convoy surged forward. Taurox 42 broke through the smoke, guns already firing. The Ridge Runner came into view. One rocket, and it exploded. Then, the second wave hit. The Goliath truck stormed down the highway, straight at Taurox 42. Stubber fire tore across the armor. Autocannon shells slammed into the hull. Metal screamed, but held. The Goliath did not slow. It was coming through. From the wastes beside the highway, the Atalan jackals came racing in, engines howling, straight toward Taurox 38. They did not slow. Mining lasers flashed. Demolition charges slammed into the hull. The Taurox shuddered under the impact. Armor scorched, plating buckled, but it held. And the convoy hit back. Taurox 42 surged forward, straight into the oncoming truck. Rounds tore into the Goliath's hull as the distance vanished. Impact. Metal crashed against metal. The Taurox drove through the collision, forcing the transport off its line. For a split second, both machines locked together. Then the Goliath went up. Fire burst from its core, and the explosion tore it apart. Bodies were thrown from the wreck. Acolytes hurled into the dust, broken. One struck the ground hard, rolled, tried to rise. Too slow. The fire reached him first. Clothing ignited, skin blackened, then split. His scream cut through the chaos and vanished in the flames. From the burning wreck, the survivors moved. Acolytes rose from the dust, broken, burning, still advancing. At the same time, another force closed in. The Primus, calm, unharmed, his unit at his back. They split without a word. The Primus led his warriors straight toward Taurox 38, blades ready. They ran through fire, through smoke, through the dead. Then they hit. Metal rang under impact. Charges slammed into armor. Hands clawed for purchase. Then the Primus stepped forward. Calm, certain. He reached Taurox 38. His blade slid into the hull. A pause, then detonation. The Taurox exploded. The blast tore across the battlefield. Acolytes were thrown, burning. A nearby jackal biker was caught in the firestorm, consumed instantly. Shockwaves rolled through the dust. And still, the cult advanced. Taurox 38 burned, split open. Inside, Inquisitor Fackelman and his Scion command squad, exposed. Taurox 39 roared in beside them, braking hard. Its hatch blew open, and the squad inside disembarked immediately, forming a perimeter, making space.
Move! Get him out!
The Scions pulled him from the wreckage, dragging him clear of the shattered hull, weapons still firing. The squad's medic forced his way through the smoke, grabbing the Inquisitor.
Into the other Taurox! No!
No hesitation. He shoved him forward. Hands pulled Fackelman into Taurox 39 as it accelerated beside them. The ramp slammed shut. The engine roared. The Taurox surged forward. An acolyte clung to the hull, clawed fingers scraping against metal, dragging himself forward as the vehicle accelerated. He held on, pulling himself toward the vision slit. Then the Taurox swerved. The sudden jolt tore him free, throwing him beneath the wheels. A single scream, cut short, crushed under the vehicle's weight. The Taurox did not slow. Neophyte hybrids moved into position. Weapons raised, stubbers opened fire, autoguns chattered. Rounds hammered against Taurox 42. The seismic cannon fired. The ground ruptured beneath the vehicle. Shockwaves tore through the road, cracking asphalt, throwing dust into the air. The Taurox lurched, but did not stop. It accelerated, straight through them. Neophytes scattered. Too slow, too close. The transport plowed into their line, bodies thrown aside, crushed beneath its wheels. The engine roared louder. Taurox 39 followed, the Inquisitor inside, weapons fired from the hatch, cutting down anything that moved. They did not slow. They did not turn. Through smoke, through fire, through the remains of the ambush, and left the battlefield behind. The Scions held the line. They fired. The rest reached them. The Primus struck. Fast, precise, final. The line collapsed. The Scions fought to the last. They died where they stood. When it was over, the Primus watched the dust settle, unmoving. He had seen the Inquisitor, just for a moment, through smoke and fire. He knew his face now. He would not lose him again. Somewhere on Ferrion, Sergeant Varden Hale still lived, and now they were both being hunted.
Shadows over Ferrion, a Warhammer 40,000 Crusade campaign.